What's up, everyone? Kirky's Garage. It's been a while. This is not a one UZ video. Everything with a one UZ is great. It's wonderful. This is I broke something. I gotta fix it now. So, got my diamond axle with a high pinion Toyota 8 with a Yukon Zip locker in it, and I apparently broke the locker. Don't remember when. I think it was when I was snow wheeling, 6-8 months ago, maybe even longer than that. I was having issues with it engaging, and I think I was on the throttle when it finally engaged. And anyway, I contacted the people at Yukon, and they're like, it's probably shattered. So got a new Yukon Zip locker. I went back and forth with wanting the Grizzly or another Zip, so we're just gonna throw another Zip in here and see how it goes. I'm probably gonna do a dissection on that one. I can't send it back, it's not warranted. It's from 2011, so I'll probably do a dissection on it so we can actually see what broke on it. If I do that in this video, I'll put a link. You guys know how it works. So anyway, I gotta get this on stands, tires off, brakes off, hubs off, spindles off, pull the shafts, and then deal with getting the third out. Okay, we're on stands and use the little big ass siphon syringe thingy. Front diff is pretty much drained. It's hard to get all the oil out of that guy. There's no drain plug on it. Goal is to not get any gear oil in the house. So, stuff smells like death. Alright, first one's out. The caliper fought me a little bit. And the RCV, those are tight fits. You have to get them rotated just right so they pop out. So, that's the short side RCV through spine. Looking pretty good. So, one down, one to go. And the long side's out. So, it's been about, I don't know, an hour since I got the shafts out, drive shafts out. So, I remember when I got this housing from Brian at Front Range, or Diamond Axle, same company I think. Getting this in was a royal pain in the ass. I remember I even die grinded areas to get it to actually go in. I remember thinking to myself, man, it's gonna suck to pull this out one day. So that's today. I can't. It's hitting something. So doing this alone right now. So pry bars. Yeah. All right. Took about 30 minutes, but it's out. I need to look for witness marks, figure out where it was getting hung up. I think it was on the adjuster wheel. I nearly got the cutoff wheel out to cut some studs off, but it relented. It came out, so I need a beer. Hopefully I'll be able to get this, but out anything moving. It's moving about 9 thou. I think that's thou, yeah. So when I put it back together, that'll be my targets. I think it's what, 6 to 12 is totally normal, so 9's fine. Yeah, actually, just so I have it, this was loose. I don't know if that's normal or not. Doesn't feel like it should be. Oh, that's wonderful. Don't leave your buckets out in the sun. So I think that's where the adjuster might have been hitting the housing. So maybe it's kind of a weird spot. take a look at all the teeth. Oh. Ew. Oh. Ew. That is not good. So that was the noise I've been hearing. Pinion made contact with a little copper line. Fantastic. Alright. Okay. Well. So, I guess we're gonna tear it apart, and then I gotta find a friend with a press, get the bearings on the new one, and I do have marking compound. We will. You know what? I should put marking compound on this and run a pattern check. Take pictures, and then I can compare it when I put it all back together. It shouldn't change, but you know, better safe than sorry. Okay. Loosened all the caps, and then while I had it in here, just held down on that for 5-10 seconds on each ring gear bolt. So all these are now loose, so it should be easy to get out. So yeah, let's get the caps off. They're already loose. And we need to get the adjuster off. Yep. Okay. So I need both hands to do this, so I'm gonna take these off. I've marked caps. I didn't have a punch or anything, so I just marked them with some yellow paint marker. Hopefully that stays. Try to keep them organized. I'm gonna get this off. I'll get the ring gear off, and then I'm not sure what I'll do next, but I'll show you. Here's the old one. I have the Harbor Freight bearing splitter, and I tried even grinding it down. There's not enough. It can't grab enough underneath it to pull the bearings off. So I left the original bearings on, but I needed something to help me press the new one on, which I did. Went over to my buddy Shane's house, used his little 10-ton or 15-ton press. Got those on, but had to get this is an inner wheel bearing off the truck. It was a spare. So inner wheel bearing for any solid axle Toyota pickup, mini truck, whatever, 4Runner. Get the inner wheel bearing off, cut the cage, and then I had to sand this forever, but it's exactly what you need to do the V6 side. You know, this is the V6 carrier on this. So if you're in a pinch, you gotta just find a wheel bearing, a cheap one. So we're gonna get this back into here and start working on backlash. All right, it's the next day. Forgot about getting the carrier bearing. Forgot about getting the ring gear bolts on last night, so I found a way to kind of hold everything in place up on the vise with a holder and got everything torqued down. These are in, so now it's getting backlash sets and figuring out the air thing and doing a pattern check and all that stuff I've seen on a million different videos, but this is the first time I'm doing it, and yeah, it's kind of not sure exactly what I'm doing, but I've seen it done enough times that I think I'll be able to figure it out. So I can't imagine how hard it is to do this with the Dana 60 or something that requires shims, because using the adjusters, that only took maybe 5 minutes to get 8 on the dot. So yeah, 4-9 14 bolt people, they know what's up. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to torque these, add a little bit of preload, and then run a pattern check. And if everything looks good, maybe add a little more preload and call it a day. Alrighty, airline's in, and I was able to connect it to the compressor. Had my kid hit the button and it locked. Tried it with one of the shafts, so it works. Always test these before you put them in. Always test them before you put them in. And then a little side project, because I can't help myself. Been wanting to do a 5th stud. I had the 5th stud in here forever, but I just had to add a piece of metal to it. This thing's humongous, probably overkill. Anyway, I'll probably get the other side done tonight. But now I'm going to try to get the diff back in there. Hopefully I sanded and grinded enough stuff down. I don't know if I mentioned it, but because I owe Brian an apology. It's real hard to get the diff into the diamond housing. I couldn't figure out why. Turns out, I think these 3 studs, I think it's a Trail Gear product, where you put the bolt in and use an Allen key to tighten it. The bolt head on this guy and this guy just hung over a hair, just a teeny bit. I'm hoping that was it. So those are all ground down. I think I'm gonna do a test fit, and then I gotta get some silicone on there. I just gotta clean up the mating surface on the 3rd member, which I should have done when I had everything out, but I didn't. So I'm a bad content creator. I'm not a content creator. I'm really bad. I thought I filmed a little outro update on what's going on, and I didn't hit the record button. Sorry. Anyway, the diff, got it in and out. I figured out what was wrong. There was a bent stud. One stud was just slightly bent, and it was preventing it. You had to pry it in and pry it out. So that's in. Everything's sealed. Got oil in it. Tested it a few times. So now I'm gonna back it out, go around the block, make sure there's no weird noises. And then, since I screwed up and didn't film any of it going back in, I'll do the dissection video, and we're gonna take the old one, which is in that box, take it apart, cut it open, see what broke.